Man is mortal, but there are some whose glorious deeds upholding human dignity are remembered for generations to come. They achieve immortality. One such person was Rao Tula. He was the first to raise the banner of revolt in Haryana against British imperialism. He was the foremost in heralding the message of freedom for the people of Haryana groaning under shackles of slavery. Born on the 9th of December 1825, Rao Tula Ram was the only son of Rao Kirshan Singh and Rani Gyan Kaur. His father died when he was only 14. There was a heavy debt to clear, but young Tula Ram, endowed with farsightedness and ability, not only liquidated the debts, but also mustered enough wealth which in years to come proved of immense help in his fight against the British Raj. Rao Tula Ram set about strengthening his defences and built the Rampur fort. (1857). Mangal Pandey gave a clarion call initiating the fight for independence. The echo reverberated through the length and breadth of the country. Commencing from Meerut, the battle scene shifted to Delhi. British officers were dislodged and the aging Bahadur Shah Zafar was proclaimed the Emperor of Hindustan. The news about the liberation of Delhi reached Rampur, where Rao Tula Ram spontaneously decided to side with Bahadur Shah and fight the British. He mustered a force of about 500 men and attacked the English treasury at Rewari. The wealth plundered from the treasury was used for the benefit of the people. Rao Tula Ram took over the administration of Rewari, Bhora and Shahjahanpur Pargana. The great warrior faced two problems: to maintain law and order and collection of revenue. Just 10 days before the fall of Delhi, he had remitted a sum of 40,000 rupees to General Bakht Khan. Rao Tula Ram appointed his brother Rao Gopal Dev as the commander of his forces. He reorganized and trained his troops on the pattern of the British. He had a force of between 4,000 to 5,000 men comprising infantry and cavalry. Besides, there was an armoured force. He had also set up an ordnance factory for the manufacture of all sorts of small and big armaments. On the 6th of October 1857, when British Captain Hudson captured the fort of Rewari, he wrote, "Rao Tara Ram was evidently a clever fellow and had adroitly and promptly contrived so as to be the first in the field should our powers cease." He had established total law and order in his domain with extensive military preparations. The Nawab of Farrukhnagar repeatedly tried to bring Tula Ram into disgrace at the Delhi Darbar, but Tula Ram kept on expressing his loyalty by frequently presenting himself at the court and by sending gifts. On the 20th of September 1857, English troops entered Delhi and captured Bahadur Shah Zafar. On October 2nd, Brigadier General Shah marched towards Rewari with a force of 1,500 men, a light field battery, 2 18-pounders and 2 small mortars to fight Rao Tara Ram. Rao Tara Ram was ready to defend the fort with a strength of 8,000 soldiers. He gave a tough fight to the British troops and kept them at bay. On the 6th of October 1857, the British troops reached Rewari. Along with the Nawab of Jhajjar, he made preparations to fight. The British troops pursued Rao Tara Ram and reached Mohindergarh, which had been sufficiently fortified. The Nawab of Jhajjar was captured by the British. The undaunted Rao Tara Ram moved to Shekhawati in Rajasthan. With the support of the Jodhpur troops, he liberated Rewari from the British. He well realized that the earthen fort of Rampur was not a fit place to fight the British might. So, along with his companions, he left Rampur and reached Narnaul. Narnaul was surrounded by hills on all sides. It was a strategic place to give a bitter fight. Rao Tara Ram prepared a plan for the ensuing battle. The British were greatly alarmed at the hit-and-run tactics used by Rao Tara Ram. They detailed a strong force of 3,000 men under Colonel Gerard with orders to liquidate him. Colonel Gerard reconquered Rampur fort. Hotly pursuing Rao Tara Ram, he advanced on Mohindergarh and seized it. Then his troops advanced on Narnaul. Their movement was slowed down as the gun carriages were stuck in sand dunes. Their first stopover was Nasibpur. Rao Tara Ram was accompanied by Ahirs and Ranghars of Ahirwal and Mewat, the Jodhpur Legion under the command of Risaldar Ahmad Ali, and the troops of the Nawab of Jhajjar under General Abdus Samad Khan. Rao Tara Ram had fortified his position in a big and strong fortress in the city of Narnaul. Finding the British resting at Nasibpur, he went out to attack them without waiting for their advance on Narnaul. Colonel Gerard was killed. By sunset, the Indians had lost the battle. Narnaul was a heap of corpses. This grim battle claimed the lives of the commander Rao KrishanGopal, Rao RamLal, Prince Azim of Bhutto, a son of General Samad Khan, and a host of other warriors. Rao Tula Ram escaped from Narnaul and roamed about many states of Rajasthan. In 1858, he reached Kalpi. Kalpi was a stronghold of insurgents. Nana Sahib welcomed Rao Tula Ram. Abir Kuldipika records that during his stay at Kalpi, Rao Tula Ram joined Nana Sahib, Tantia Tope and Prince Firoz in preparing war strategy. Following Tantia Tope's defeat in 1859 and in accordance with his prepared plans to go abroad, Rao Tula Ram reached his first stopover at Dhani village in the Nagaur district of Rajasthan. Here he stayed under the guise of a Hindu Pandit. In view of the increasing alertness of the British, he wandered from village to village and reached Udairamsar. From here, he visited his in-laws at Gandala. He once again gathered his companions and decided to visit countries like Afghanistan, Iran and Russia in order to secure assistance. Fighting the British might remained his ultimate objective. In 1859, Rao Tula Ram, dressed as a Marwari, went to Ahmedabad and started operating as a trader. In 1862, he moved from Ahmedabad to Bombay. After a short stay, he boarded a ship and left for Basra. His first stopover was Bushehr. Then he left for Shiraz. Later, he moved to Tehran via Isfahan. After spending some time in Iran, Rao Tula Ram turned to Afghanistan for assistance from the local ruler. He went to Kabul via Meshad, Herat and Kandahar. There he met the Amir. Rao Tula Ram persistently tried to get assistance to fight for the freedom of the country. In 1863, Rao Tula Ram's death in a foreign land put an end to his lifelong pursuit. But the bravery and patriotism shown by Rao Tula Ram have made him immortal in history.